Which of the following is the main advantage of PCM system? A. Lower noise. B. Lower power. C. Lower bandwidth. D. All of the above. The correct answer is lower noise. BPSK stands for A. Binary phase shifting key. B. Broad phase shifting key. C. Bit phase shifting key. D. Binary pulse shifting key. The correct answer is binary phase shifting key. If a dipole is meant for a frequency of 1 MHz, the length of each rod is about A. 5 m, B. 20 m, C. 100 m, D. 50 m. The correct answer is 50 m. Consider the following statements in a radar system having a high value of the ratio antenna diameter wavelength. A. 1234, B. 123, C. 12, D. 134. The correct answer is 123. As EM waves travel in free space, they get A. reflected, B. refracted, C. attenuated, D. absorbed. The correct answer is attenuated. Crosstalk is due to reception of portions of a signal from one channel into another. A. true, B. false, C. D. The correct answer is true. If there are m equally likely and independent messages and m to n where n is an integer, the information in each message is equal to A. n bits, B. 0.5 n bits, C. 2 n bits, D. 4 n bits. The correct answer is n bits. A radar beacon is a small radar set having a receiver, a separate transmitter, and an antenna. A. true, B. false, C. D. The correct answer is true. In the above case, the total power in the modulated wave double sideband suppressed carrier AM will be A. 112 watts, B. 400 watts, C. 415 watts, D. 512 watts. The correct answer is 400 watts. Brownian motion is A. random emission of electrons in vacuum tubes, B. thermal motion of electrons in a resistance, C. random diffusion of holes and electrons in semiconductors, D. both B and C. The correct answer is thermal motion of electrons in a resistance. In a TV studio, the illuminance is about A. 200 lux, B. 1000 lux, C. 10,000 lux, D. 10 lux. The correct answer is 1000 lux. MEWS stands for A. missile early warning system, B. moving target early warning system, C. missile early warning signal, D. moving target early warning signal. The correct answer is missile early warning system. Top loading in an antenna increases A. effective height, B. beam width, C. input capacitance, D. bandwidth. The correct answer is effective height. In a radar, the return echo arrives after the allocated pulse interval. Then, A. the receiver may be overloaded, B. the target will appear closer than its actual position, C. the return echo may interfere with transmitter operation, D. none of the above. The correct answer is the target will appear closer than its actual position. The decoder for PAL system is A. similar to NTSC decoder, B. similar to NTSC decoder supplemented by 64 ms delay line, C. similar to NTSC decoder supplemented by 64 ms delay line and an electronic commutator, D. either B or C. The correct answer is similar to NTSC decoder supplemented by 64 ms delay line and an electronic commutator. CW Doppler radar is capable of giving accurate measurements of relative velocities. A. true, B. false, C. D. The correct answer is true. In the stabilized reactance modulators AFC system, the discriminator must have a fast time constant to prevent demodulation. B. The higher discriminator frequency, the better the oscillator frequency stability. C. The discriminator frequency must not be too low or the system will fail. D. Phase modulation is converted into FM by the equalizer circuit. The correct answer is phase modulation is converted into FM by the equalizer circuit. An antenna is 30 meter high. The frequency is 1 MHz. The radiation resistance is about A 1500, B 150, C 15, D 1.5. The correct answer is 15. Which of the following codes is based on BCD format? A EBCDIC, B AC, C Hollerith, D both A and B. The correct answer is both A and B. In a system using QASK and 4 bits to form a symbol, the required bandwidth is A same as BPSK, B half of that in BPSK, C 1/4 of that in BPSK, D none of the above. The correct answer is 1/4 of that in BPSK. Each of the following statements regarding frequency modulation is true except A. Amplitude of the modulated wave remains the same as that of carrier wave. B. The amount of variation of deviation from the original carrier frequency is determined by the frequency of the modulating signal. C. The rate at which the frequency of modulated wave varies is determined by the frequency of the modulating signal. D. Frequency of modulated wave increases as the signal voltage increases and vice versa. The correct answer is the amount of variation of deviation from the original carrier frequency is determined by the frequency of the modulating signal. During playback, the take-up reel is A. in clockwise motion, B. in anticlockwise motion, C. either clockwise or anticlockwise motion, D. none of the above. The correct answer is in anticlockwise motion. To avoid objectionable noise in a microwave TV link, the SNR should be about A. 50 or more, B. 10 or more, C. 25 or more, D. 200 or more. The correct answer is 25 or more. Foster-Seeley discriminator uses A. single-tuned circuit, B. double-tuned circuit with primary and secondary tuned to the same frequency, C. double-tuned circuit with primary and secondary tuned to the different frequency, D. none of the above. The correct answer is single-tuned circuit. Which of the following statement about modulation is correct? A. It avoids use of antennas, B. It reduces bandwidth, C. It ensures transmission over long distances, D. It combines different transmissions. The correct answer is it ensures transmission over long distances. Sound wave travels as A. longitudinal waves, B. transverse waves, C. both longitudinal and transverse waves, D. either longitudinal or transverse wave. The correct answer is either longitudinal or transverse wave. FM signal can be generated by A. diode reactance modulator, B. saturable reactor modulator, C. reactance tube modulator, D. none of the above. The correct answer is none of the above. A planar array radar uses a high-gain planar array antenna. A. true, B. false, C. D. The correct answer is true. Which of the following terms is not applicable to Yagi-Uda array? A. high-gain, B. folded dipole, C. parasitic elements, D. good bandwidth. The correct answer is high-gain. If transmission path in PCM is very long, then A. Repeater stations are used. B. Pulse width may be increased. C. Pulse amplitude is increased. D. Pulse spacing is reduced. The correct answer is repeater stations are used. If f is Fourier transform of ft, then the Fourier transform of ft cos ct is A. fc fc, B. fc fc, C. fc fc, D. fc fc. The correct answer is fc fc. In a TV receiver, the raster is normal but there is no sound and quality of picture is poor. The defective part is A. Power supply, B. Loudspeaker, C. AGC video if amplifier, RF amplifier, D. Horizontal oscillator. The correct answer is AGC video if amplifier, RF amplifier. If the plate supply voltage for a plate modulated class C amplifier is E, the maximum plate cathode voltage could be almost as high as AE, B2E, C3E, D4E. The correct answer is 3E. The characteristics of H and V sync pulses in a color TV receiver are A1 and 2 only, B1 only, C3 only, D4 only. The correct answer is 1 and 2 only. Bandwidth for practical PCM system is where n is no of channels in length of PCM codes. A2n FM Hz, B4n FM Hz, C2n FM, DN1 FM. The correct answer is 2n FM Hz. Circuit switching, message switching and packet switching network belong to which of the following systems? A. Computer communication system, B. Electromechanical communication system, C. PBX system, D. EPBX system. The correct answer is computer communication system. The Shannon-Hartley law. A. refers to noise, B. defines bandwidth, C. describes signaling rate, D. refers to distortion. The correct answer is refers to noise. In radar, PRF depends on maximum range. A. true, B. false, C. D. The correct answer is true. A frequency doubler has an FM signal input at 13 MHz with a deviation of 5 kHz. The output frequency of the carrier will be A. 26 kHz, B. 260 kHz, C. 26 MHz, D. 260 MHz. The correct answer is 260 MHz. If FHT is Hilbert transform of FT, then Hilbert transform of FHT is A. FT, B. FT, C. F2T, D. FT. The correct answer is FT. Maximum undistorted power output of a transmitter is obtained when its modulation is %. A. more than 100, B. 100, C. less than 100, D. 50. The correct answer is 100. Which one of the following is not necessarily an advantage of the phase cancellation method of obtaining SSB over the filter method? A. It is possible to generate SSB at any frequency. B. SSB with lower audio frequencies present can be generated. C. Switching from one sideband to other is simpler. D. There are more balanced modulators, therefore the carrier is suppressed better. The correct answer is there are more balanced modulators, therefore the carrier is suppressed better. Pulse modulation is used in A. radio navigation, B. automatic landing equipment, C. data communications, D. all of the above. The correct answer is all of the above. In an amplitude modulated waveform, the amplitude of the sideband is A. independent of the carrier amplitude, B. Independent of the modulation index. C. Carrier amplitude x modulation index. D. 1-2 carrier amplitude x modulation index. The correct answer is 1-2 carrier amplitude x modulation index. In communication systems, the frequency range used for voice is A. 15 Hz to 150 Hz. B. 30 Hz to 1000 Hz. C. 100 Hz to 1500 Hz. D. 300 Hz to 3800 Hz. The correct answer is 300 Hz to 3800 Hz. In a radio receiver with simple AGC, the highest AGC voltage is produced between stations. B. An increase in signal strength produces more AGC. C. The audio stage gain is normally controlled by AGC. D. The faster the time constant of AGC, more accurate the output. The correct answer is an increase in signal strength produces more AGC.